So Alex Pereira ignites a new feud with fellow UFC fighter by bringing up their history that you were crying. Yes, guys, Alex Pereira just snapped, and this isn't really about Melquizael Costa because what he said actually exposed something a lot bigger than what's going on right now inside the UFC, and that's getting a lot of people talking. I'm in beautiful Japan, guys. There's some beautiful temples all around me, some shrines. I'm in the Jian province, but anyways, we'll get to that in a little bit here. But what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. Here we just don't cover the fight game. We break it down. And today I have some exciting news about Alex Pereira. He's a rising, obviously. So we want to talk about Alex Pereira, and on the surface it looks small, but it actually tells you a lot about ego, respect, and how fighters actually move behind the scenes. And this is what's really important. So let me kind of get into this here, guys. And I read the story, and yeah, it actually started off as a real simple comment about Jon Jones, and then it quickly turned into Alex Pereira calling out another fighter publicly by bringing out some personal moments, even saying things like, "Oh, you were crying," and you know, it may seem so menial to us, but trust me, guys, that it matters more than you think. And I'll kind of shed some context, a little bit of background into kind of what's going on. But yeah, I mean, here's exactly kind of what happened, right? Melquizael Costa. He's obviously a rising fighter in the ranks of the UFC. He jumps into the comments and says that he believes that Jon Jones would actually beat Alex Pereira if they ever fought. Now, let's just be real for a second, guys. That's not even a crazy take here. It isn't. But Jon Jones is widely seen as perhaps one of the greatest fighters ever, right, in MMA, in combat sports. So normally that's the kind of comment that doesn't actually get ignored. But Alex Pereira didn't ignore it. He actually responded to it, and he went personal. Okay, he went personal with this because there's a lot of drama right now in the heavyweight division with Alex Pereira, Jon Jones. Jon Jones is really upset that he's not on the UFC Freedom 250 White House card, and he was supposed to fight Alex Pereira. I mean, rumors. But anyway, support whoever you want, but don't talk about things you don't fully understand, right? This is what he's talking about. And then he brings up the past, right? First, he calls up Melquizael Costa. He calls him out for filming him without permission at a hotel at an LFA event, and so he wasn't too happy about that. And then it gets deeper, and then Pereira said that they had dinner in Mexico after Costa lost a fight, and that he was there supporting him during a low moment, right? So, and then he drops the line. He goes, I was giving you strength because you were crying, and now you win 2 fights, and now you're the almighty. So that didn't sit too well, obviously. I mean, usually when fighters reach out to other fighters, and you're consoling them, those aren't things that you want to kind of bring out in the open like that, because I mean, it sounds petty to us, but I mean, anyways, guys, it's about respect. It's about respect, and in combat sports, it's a very tight-knit community, especially in the UFC, right? Respect isn't just about what happens necessarily in the cage, right, in the octagon. It's also about the camaraderie, right, between fighters. Who helped you on the way up? Who showed you the path when you were losing? Who was there for you? When things started to go your way, when things didn't go your way. And Alex Pereira, he clearly felt that Costa crossed the line. I don't disagree here with Alex Pereira. I mean, you got to have thick skin, obviously, to be a fighter in combat sports, especially in MMA, in the UFC. But here's where it gets really interesting. So this situation that I'm talking about right now shows you about how fighters are actually building their names right now, because Costa didn't actually say anything too crazy, okay, but he did attach himself to it, right? Jon Jones, Alex Pereira, right? The hypothetical super fight that was supposed to happen. And that's how attention kind of works in today's fight game, guys, because everyone knows something kind of happened behind the scenes for Jon Jones to not be able to get the call up to the UFC, and now you're going to have to determine that for yourself. And I mean, sometimes that kind of information can come along with certain kinds of consequences, of course, right? But I mean, a lot of people do feel that Jon Jones was robbed of an opportunity, but then again, should they? Because all along, Dana White has been talking about how it was a 1 in a billion chance that he was ever going to get the opportunity to fight again, right? Especially in the UFC. So anyways, guys, look, you got a rising UFC fighter, okay? Probably, and then you also have probably one of the biggest stars right now in the UFC responding publicly. And then you got fans who are suddenly aware that these two guys even have history. So the real question comes down to is, was this emotional from Pereira, or is this just how the fight game apparently is played out right now, especially with two big names, two big stars in the UFC? And if you want to know why this matters, let's not forget that Pereira is potentially moving to the heavyweight division soon. I mean, he's already been linked to Cyril Gane, the fight that's supposed to happen. There's talks about massive fights. I mean, a lot of people are still talking about Jon Jones supposedly in that conversation. So, I mean, how do you respond to something like this, right? I mean, Alex Pereira, I mean, it shows you a couple things here. Like, even at the top, these moments can still get very personal to the point where people don't like it and they have to talk about it. And for Costa, this is the kind of attention that can actually change your career overnight. So if you play it right, and if you play your cards right, you do everything that you're supposed to, people are going to start to talk about you. They're going to start to bring you into the conversation, into the fold, and the next thing you know, there's an added layer here, and your name is already being pushed into potential fights, right? So Pereira said, look, I can lose 8 fights in a row. That's not random. That's a mindset. I could win 8 fights in a row. So, I mean, he's basically saying that I've already built my name. I'm not chasing validation. And in a sport where everyone is really trying to climb the ladder, okay, that's quite dangerous, right? It's a very dangerous position to be in, especially for everybody else, because guys like Pereira don't have to prove himself anymore. I mean, this light heavyweight phenom now moving to heavyweight, he's got a big task ahead of him, and he's got to be focused on that task, which is Cyril Gane. But the social media stuff that happens, the back and forth, it's a reminder of how the fight game plays out these days, guys. You know, you're talking about people's personal stuff coming out in the open. You're talking about people's fight games. I mean, look, fighters don't forget, first of all, okay? Especially when fighters are down, they definitely don't forget who's there for them, who speaks out on their behalf, who's there to kind of help them, guide them to the top again, or at least out of that rut. Fighters never forget that, right? So there's obviously that camaraderie that happens that's very special between fighters. The question comes down to is, did Pereira go too far about bringing up those personal moments, or is this just really how things are kind of being played out now on social media, on the many different platforms in social media and in the fight game? Anyways, that's my take on it, guys. I know it sounds very menial, sounds very kind of trivial, but there's obviously a deeper connection to the story, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because, I mean, again, when you're talking about Jon Jones, you're talking about what could have happened, the fight that everyone thought was going to happen. Everyone thought that Jon Jones was in the negotiations with the UFC. And the UFC did actually admit that they were talking to Jon Jones, but when a reporter asked Dana White about that, he said, when asked about that, Dana White said, well, we talked to everybody, right? So he kind of made it sound like it was nothing really special about talking to Jon Jones. They're saying that they're pretty much talking to all the fighters. So that's kind of what, and anyways, for the fact that Jon Jones is not on that card, a lot of people are bummed about that. The UFC obviously had wanted to move past him. People are talking about a big money issue. If you watched my video yesterday, then you guys would have known that apparently Jon Jones was offered $15 million to fight Alex Pereira. and he turned it down. He turned down that 8-figure deal because he said that he was worth more, and he kind of felt bummed about the fact that he wasn't getting $1 more than $15 million. And now and now he's not even in the UFC. He's not even going to fight anybody. He's sitting at home, and now he created his own promotion, which he got licensed in DC, and it's this like dirty boxing promotion. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting to kind of see how all of these things are kind of playing out, and especially in social media, and with the advent of social media right now, everyone can understand and talk about things a little bit more quicker than waiting for the news to actually come through the tube. Nowadays, people get the information even quicker than some fighters actually get that information. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Jon Jones. We know that Alex Pereira is set to fight Cyril Gane. Alex Pereira relinquished his light heavyweight championship title to move into that heavyweight path. He's got a big test ahead of him. Cyril Gane hasn't fought since he fought Tom Aspinall with the double eye poke controversy that happened. And a lot of people are actually hedging that Cyril Gane might actually be the favorite in this. And but Alex Pereira's coming off some pretty big wins, and for him to relinquish the title and go to heavyweight, that tells you a lot about the fighter's confidence. And again, that's going to happen at UFC Freedom 250, and a lot of people are super excited about that. They can't wait for that to happen. Of course, Jon Jones is pretty pissed that he's not on the card. But anyways, guys, the drama continues to unfold, and I continue to bring it to you guys. So where this story goes, I don't know, but I'll make sure that I bring you guys some updates. In the meantime, guys, I want to thank you guys for sticking around. If you guys enjoyed this video, please smash a like and subscribe, and hit the notifications so you guys never miss a beat. I hope you guys enjoyed this beautiful background. We're in Kyoto right now in Japan. There's a lot of temples and shrines and like ancient shrines. It's absolutely incredible. If I just show you here real quick, you could take a look at that massive Buddha structure right there in the background. It's absolutely incredible, guys. I mean, from here it may look really small, but it's pretty big. It's pretty big. Anyways, guys, thanks again for sticking around. The pleasure was all mine, and I look forward to catching you guys in tomorrow's video.